Coming of Age is coming up next. I'm your host, Emily Echeverria. First today, we're discussing atrial fibrillation, a surprisingly common heart rhythm issue. Next, we'll be checking in with our local Alzheimer's Association chapter about the upcoming Walk to End Alzheimer's and their work providing support to those affected by Alzheimer's and other dementias. Finally, we're talking to Michael Peltier with Emerald Coast Parkinsons Assist about how this program helps people gain back mobility through an exercise regimen focused on boxing. Stay with us. Coming of Age starts right now. As we age, staying active in life and involved in the community can become a challenge. But with Council on Aging of West Florida's wide range of home-based services, you remain healthy, independent, and engaged. From Meals on Wheels and respite care to senior dining sites and the retreat, you'll find the support and connection that you need to age well. Aging looks different for everyone, and we're here to help you meet your needs and thrive while maintaining what makes you, you. We've been in the community since 1972, advocating for elders and supporting those who care for our parents and grandparents. Now, join us as we discuss the age-related issues that matter to you. Atrial fibrillation is a quivering or irregular heartbeat, or arrhythmia. Atrial fibrillation, also known as AFib or AF, can lead to blood clots, stroke, heart failure, and other heart-related complications. According to the American Heart Association, over 12 million people are projected to have AFib by 2030. Here to talk more about heart disease is Natalia Hernandez, an electrophysiologist with the Baptist Heart and Vascular Institute. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So we hear a lot about atrial fibrillation from TV, family, and friends. What exactly is it?
It is, as you mentioned, a form of irregular heartbeat and probably the most common heart rhythm disorder in the modern era, currently affecting nearly 6 million of Americans. And the odds to get atrial fibrillation do increase with age, especially after 50 years. And if we look at the risk, it's actually about 1 in 4.
Oh, wow. So why is it so important to recognize atrial fibrillation?
This condition is not only an electrical disturbance in the heart, it can come with serious consequences for one's health. This condition increases risk of stroke 5-fold, heart failure 3-fold, the risk of dementia and dying 2-fold. In addition, atrial fibrillation can produce symptoms disabling for the patient, such as palpitations, dizziness, shortness of breath, or even lack of energy.
Wow. So can anything be done to prevent atrial fibrillation and its kind of negative health implications?
Prevention of atrial fibrillation is really focused on healthy lifestyle. That includes healthy diet, moderate amount of exercise, avoidance of alcohol, quitting smoking, and maintaining healthy weight. Optimal management of chronic medical conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, sleep apnea has also been shown to help prevent atrial fibrillation. And upon diagnosis of atrial fibrillation, early interventions to restore and maintain normal rhythm are also important to prevent progression and development of its negative consequences. And those early interventions could include a strong heart rhythm medicines called antiarrhythmics or a procedure of ablation.
So ablation, what is that procedure and what's its success rate?
Ablation is a minimally invasive procedure performed through big IVs inserted in the vein and the leg. Through those IVs, we insert catheters that travel up one's vein and then into the heart with the purpose to cauterize or freeze certain areas on the top of the heart known to either trigger or maintain atrial fibrillation. For early stages of atrial fibrillation, success rate reaches 70 to 80%. And while there is no cure for atrial fibrillation so far, ablation is the best technology we have got.
Okay, so you said that's minimally invasive. It's not open heart surgery, obviously, but it is it's going up through that vein.
Everything is done through big IVs in the leg.
Gotcha. Okay. So what is the major risk of atrial fibrillation?
I would say the major risk of atrial fibrillation is a stroke. And as we have pointed out, atrial fibrillation increases this risk 5-fold. And strokes related to atrial fibrillation have been shown to be much more disabling.
Mm-hmm. So what can be done to protect patients with atrial fibrillation from stroke?
We do have several options to offer the patients with atrial fibrillation to protect them from stroke. One of them could be a prescription lifelong for a strong blood thinner, and the other option is insertion of Watchman device.
Tell me about the Watchman device. What exactly is that?
A Watchman device is a plug. I know some people refer to it in different terms, but essentially it's a plug for a dead end pouch on the left side of the heart called appendage. This is the spot where atrial fibrillation makes blood clots, and with that pouch plugged, there is no other good spots for the clots to develop. And Watchman insertion requires also a minimally invasive procedure where everything is done through big IV inserted in the leg. And about 6 months after Watchman device insertion, blood thinners could be stopped and patient could receive protection from stroke without increase of the bleeding risk. And I wanted to add that while Watchman is the most commonly used plug for that pouch used in the United States, we do have another device on the market called Amulet with a very similar principle of work, but just the shape of the plug is a little bit different.
Okay. And what is the difference between them? Just the shape?
Just the shape, and one device can provide better plug for different shapes of that pouch, because nobody is made the same, and if we look at those pouches, there are different sizes, different shapes, different depth, and we have to find just the right plug to give the patient the best result with the occlusion.
Okay. And so as the electrophysiologist, what do you do? Are you the one, you are going in and doing those procedures? You're inserting the Watchman and doing the ablation type procedures?
That is correct. It's always a teamwork. If you look at the procedure, there is a lot of people in the room, and nothing can be done without everybody present, but I would be the operator who would actually perform all the steps.
Gotcha. And how would someone know if they have atrial fibrillation? What is kind of the initial warning sign? Just feeling that irregular heartbeat?
Atrial fibrillation is very tricky on that regard, because some patients feel every single episode. They may feel something is not right, whether it's heart racing, palpitation, or just something is not how it should be. And while the other patients may have no idea that they have atrial fibrillation, and the first symptoms for about 37% of patients is a stroke, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
So that's why it's important to recognize it if we can. Unfortunately, we don't have any tools to screen everybody for atrial fibrillation. But if you come to our office, we always get an EKG, and now there is abundance of commercially available devices that allow patients to record home EKG at the time they choose to do so, and some patients can pick up arrhythmia that way.
Okay. And so as far as prevention, it's kind of the basic, it seems like this is a different type of heart issue, but it's actually just the same overall heart health recommendations as far as diet, exercise, maintaining healthy weight and blood pressure and all those kinds of things.
Correct. Atrial fibrillation is disorder of second half of our lives. And some providers believe that everybody would develop atrial fibrillation if we lived long enough. Just threshold is different. For somebody it's 60 years, for somebody it may be 120 years, and we just don't live long enough.
Gotcha. All right, well, thank you so much for sharing this information with us.
Thank you very much.
Next up, the walk to end Alzheimer's and more with our local Alzheimers Association. Stay tuned.
Navigating healthcare is hard. Baptist makes it better. With convenient locations, easy scheduling, and skilled, compassionate doctors, all when you need us most. The next time you need care, let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
The Reesburg Institute, Pensacola's Ear, Nose, Throat, and Voice Center. We welcome you to visit us at our convenient Davis Highway location in Pensacola. At the Reesburg Institute, we offer the most advanced treatment available in a calm, stress-free environment. Since 2014, we've performed over 1,000 cases in office of balloon sinus surgery, as well as septoplasty and nasal procedures using oral sedation. The in-office procedures result in a faster healing time. Visit us and feel the difference.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Animal Allies is looking for volunteers, and there are many ways that you can help. From taking care of cats to using your computer and social media skills, any and all assistance is greatly appreciated. We have morning and afternoon shifts every day or help at adoption events. You could even foster a kitty at home. And it counts towards community service hours for bright futures. Find Animal Allies Florida on Facebook and Instagram, or go to aaflorida.org/volunteer.
Keeping your family healthy can be complicated. Baptist makes it better with trusted primary care doctors for the whole family and trusted specialists at convenient locations throughout the region ready to care for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
The Alzheimer's Association is leading the way in ending Alzheimer's disease and other dementias by driving research, raising awareness, and providing support and educational resources for those living with Alzheimer's and for caregivers. The organization also engages in advocacy and raises awareness about Alzheimer's and dementia to mobilize people to action in the fight against the disease. Here to tell us more is Tina Henson and Andre Hall. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
So first of all, tell me about the mission of Alzheimer's Association and your role with the organization.
Sure. I'm a program director with the Alzheimer's Association, Central and North Florida chapter. And what we want to see is a world without Alzheimer's. And we do that by raising funds that help with research, drive risk reduction, early detection, and making sure that the caregivers have the information they need to find quality services to be able to help them through the disease.
Awesome. Well, tell me about the resources you offer to people who have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's or other dementias.
Sure. So we have educational resources that are available not only in person, but also on our website that someone can take advantage of to learn more about the course of the disease. In addition, we also have support groups that are really helpful for someone who's going through this so they don't feel that they are alone and they can benefit from someone else who may be going through some of the same things that they're going through. And then we also have opportunities for volunteering where someone can give back, become a part of what we're doing, and help with those educational groups or support groups that we have and the other opportunities with the association.
And how about the resources you offer for the caregivers of people with dementia?
Sure. So one of the best resources we have for that really is support groups. I think that those who are facing this disease and going through it many times benefit from those in a number of different ways. And so that's an opportunity for them to come together, learn from each other, and then just know that they're not alone as they go through this. But then education also really is important for the caregiver because many times they haven't faced this before. And so have the knowledge of the disease progression and what's available and what to expect really helps them get through it.
Absolutely. I mean, we get a lot of calls at Council on Aging, someone who is the caregiver of someone who just got a diagnosis, and where do they turn? What's the first, they want the steps of what to do next. And, we offer Alzheimer's Association, of course, as a great resource for that. So tell me about the Walk to End Alzheimer's.
So the Walk to End Alzheimer's is our annual event that we have each year to raise funds and awareness for Alzheimer's for those living with Alzheimer's or any other dementia and their caregivers.
And how can someone participate?
So this year our Walk to End Alzheimer's will be at Community Maritime Park on October 6th. It's a Sunday afternoon. We do have a website where you can register. It is free to come out and walk with us, and it is alz.org/Pensacola.
Gotcha. And so how do people, I know people can form teams and raise funds through those teams. Like, how does that work?
So most people will register for the walk. A lot of teams will be from their companies or family teams that they're walking for someone in memory of someone. They can host their own personal fundraisers, or they could start a Facebook fundraiser, or just make a personal donation. There's no limit to how much you can donate. And you would just come out and you would walk with us on walk day, and you'll see that you're not alone. We have a promise garden flowers that we use. There are 4 different colors. Each color is your representation to the cause. And when you're holding those flowers, you'll look out at this field of flowers and you'll see that there are other people who are going through the same journey as you.
Awesome. What are some other opportunities that are for people to get involved with Alzheimer's Association?
I think that there are also opportunities for advocacy. That's another arm of the association that's so important, public policy advocacy, making sure that when we look at different policies that are coming down through our elected leaders, that we're looking at the policies that are best for those who may be going through this disease. So if you're interested in doing that type of work, that's certainly available to do also. But there are a number of different roles with the association, volunteer roles. I would say if you have the desire to give back, then we can probably find a place for you. Just reach out to us and we'll find the right fit.
Awesome. Tell me about the 24-hour hotline that Alzheimer's Association offers.
So it is one of our best resources, because what we know is someone who is facing this disease, many times they will have challenges in the middle of the night when all offices are closed. And so that 1-800 number is just an opportunity for them to be able to call someone who's going to always answer and provide them the information and support that they need to be able to better manage whatever's going on in their life. And so that number is certainly something that we freely give out and make sure everybody's aware of, so they can call it anytime that they need, day or night, 24/7.
And that's another number that we give out often, because people will have a very specific issue with, say, they're a caregiver of someone with dementia who they can't get to, go out to a doctor's appointment or do some household task that they need to do, or bathe themselves or something, and they just are struggling with that issue. We say, this is a number that you can call when you're having issues like that, and someone can kind of talk you through it, give you some different ideas, put you in touch with the resources you might need. So that is a wonderful resource, of course. Anything else about the walk that you want to share?
So there's also opportunities, when we're talking about volunteering opportunities, to be part of the walk team, the walk committee, the walk planning team. So if you're interested in that, you can also go to the same website and click on the link about volunteering. So as Andre said, if you have the mission and the passion to give back, we can find some place that is the perfect fit for you.
Awesome. Anything else about Alzheimer's Association in general you'd like to share today?
Just that we have a big focus on risk reduction. I think it's so important for people to understand that there are steps that they can take that can lower their risk for developing something like this. And so just keep that in mind, that we have the data to back that up, that there are things that you can do to help lessen your chances of developing something like this.
And what are those things?
So social engagement is an important one. In fact, if someone were to go out to the walk, they would hit a number of these at one time. They would have social engagement, exercise, which is really important. If they eat well there, because diet's important, that can also be something that can help lower risk. And then also challenging your mind, doing things that are mentally stimulating, has also been shown to lower the risk. So any of those things that we should be doing anyway, right, because they're just good for us, but we know also that those can lower the risk of developing cognitive issues later on in life.
Good to know. Well, thank you both so much for being here and sharing this with us.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We're getting in the ring with Emerald Coast Parkinsons Assist and talking about how boxing can help with mobility issues.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad. Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, Mabel?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Emerald Coast Parkinsons Assist is an exercise program designed to help individuals strengthen and regain mobility through a cross-training regimen based around boxing. While the main focus is clients with Parkinson's, they also have worked with those who have diminished mobility after strokes, traumatic brain injury, and aneurysms. Michael Peltier is a coordinator with Emerald Coast Parkinsons Assist, and he's here to tell us more about this program. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
So tell me how you got started with this program.
I started probably about 8 years ago. I started working at a Title Boxing Club on 9 Mile Road, and they had Rock Steady Boxing is the name of the program they had. And since then, just been doing it ever since. Fell in love with the program, and now it's just what I do.
Awesome. Well, what is it about boxing in particular that makes this a good workout for the people you serve, people looking to kind of regain mobility?
One of the main things with the boxing is that it's a lot of balance, agility, coordination, footwork, strength, brain-body connection, like putting numbers to actions, and pretty much the overall workout. And it's also fun. So, take that with it where, you're not just walking on a treadmill, you're, maybe letting out some frustration or, getting it.
Very dynamic,
yep.
Yeah, like a little bit more fun than, like you said, walking on a treadmill.
Exactly.
So tell me what a typical class is like. Like how do you kind of incorporate the conditioning and move into the boxing?
So we always start seated, doing seated stretches, and then we go into standing, and we use like chairs to make sure people are stabilized if they have balance issues and such. And then we work a lot more range of motion, arms out, up, down, And then from there, we'll go into like our boxing round switches. A lot of it's mitt work, where you have like mitts on your hands and you catch people's punches. We have some bags and stuff like that people use as well, but a lot of it's done through our volunteers and through myself doing mitt work with them.
Okay. So it's not like you're not having people spar?
No, nobody's punching each other.
Good.
But
just making sure.
Sometimes I would think they want to punch me, but they always say they're going to get me someday, so.
Well, you've got the mitts.
Yeah, right. I'm moving.
You can defend yourself.
Yeah, let's hope.
So what are some of the benefits you see in the people who do attend your class?
Mainly just, their overall quality of life, like their balance, their flexibility, their strength, their mobility, their pretty much everything. Every aspect, gets a little bit better for them when they come to the class, and including like their social, now they have a group of friends that they can come see 3 times a week, that kind of have the same condition or something similar. They're dealing with the same issues, or their spouse, their caretaker might be dealing with the same issues, and they can speak to people at the class about it. So it's just overall good.
Yeah, tell me more about that kind of social aspect to it, because I'm sure for people that are looking to regain mobility after a stroke or with Parkinson's, maybe they feel like they want that one-on-one instead, so they're not kind of in a class, but it seems like that social aspect of it is something that is a benefit and important to the class. So tell me more about that aspect of it.
Yeah, super important. One-on-one is good for like, if people are in severe like immobility and they can't get around at all, like one-on-one would probably be better for them. But doing the one-on-one with a group class where they can come and talk, and they have that, they're not sitting at home by themselves. Social is important for, there's so many studies for anything in life that has to do with the social dynamic of being a part of a group or being a part of something.
Absolutely.
Gives them something to look forward to and to keep doing.
Yeah, absolutely. At Council on Aging, we have our dining sites that are mostly about that kind of social interaction and having a community, building a community of people, and especially that are going through similar challenges. I'm sure that's very helpful, and you get that energy from the other people in the class.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So how can people get enrolled in the class?
Mainly just find us on Facebook, Emerald Coast Parkinsons Assist, or you can contact us 850-860-6672. Our information's on Google, so it's pretty much or the doctors, if most neurologists are recommending the program, so if you see a neurologist, they'll know about our program and have information about it in the area. So.
And when are the classes and how long are they?
We have 2 separate classes. They're Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday we have a class at St. Mark's Methodist Church that goes from 10 to 11:30. And then on Monday and Wednesday in Gulf Breeze we have a class that goes from noon to 1:30. And then on Friday we all meet together in Gulf Breeze from 10:30 to noon.
And about how many people?
Class. On Fridays we have about almost 30 people that show up sometimes.
Okay.
Just depends, people have their ups and downs with their medication, so sometimes they're showing up, sometimes, they're feeling down on their meds, so they're not,
Sure.
Or they're traveling or this, or, we have a lot of people that still go, and, we had a guy just go on an Alaskan cruise, so these people are still living their best life,
Mm-hmm. So there's definitely an activity level that people are maintaining when they're...
for sure.
Okay. Anything else you want to share about the class, or anyone that wants more information?
That's pretty much all I got. It's really good for anybody that's, having any type of mobility issues. It doesn't matter if you have Parkinson's or you don't have to technically have a movement disorder. We have people that are just regular seniors that are in our class that benefit a lot from being there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So kind of any senior or anybody that's having kind of mobility
all levels.
issues.
We have people that are, we have a 44-year-old who had a brain aneurysm who, he punches just as hard as, a 20-year-old. And then we have a lady who's going to be 90 next month, who she's,
wow,
boxing it up too. So any age, any, level, people are in wheelchairs, people aren't in wheelchairs. It's very inclusive all around. So
that's awesome. I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate you having us.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Until next time, enjoy life. You've earned it.